What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. So yesterday I was hanging out at the local bakery, went there for an espresso. I saw one of my friends there. He happens to work overnight in a hospital. And as you would imagine, a lot of probably creepy paranormal stuff happens overnight in hospitals. Now, he told me when I saw him that he has something incredible to show me. He actually had footage of a ghost. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to get this footage from him. I cannot share this footage because, it kind of poses a risk of him losing his job. Hence, I will not tell you specifically which hospital we're talking about and any other, detailed information like that. But let's get started because these stories are a little bit crazy. And yes, there are more than one. So his first story that he told me and showed me based on the footage that he had. Now, what happened was they were actually recording live footage on the security monitors of one of the cameras in the patient rooms in the psych ward of the hospital. Now, what you could see on the screen was obviously at the patient. It was like probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning at this point. I don't know the specific time, but it was very late. The patient was asleep on the bed, and the camera angle could see the bed in one corner of the room, and then you could see the door to the washroom. Now, what they started noticing was that some weird kind of shadowy figure kind of started to appear almost right next to the bed. And at times it looked like this shadowy figure would literally sit down next to the patient, and then every so often would move towards the washroom, go into the washroom of the patient's room, and then walk back out and then go and sit right again at the chair next to the patient, which I swear to God, I could clearly see. Like, you couldn't exactly see a full figure of a person, but you can see that there was definitely something that was there. It was kind of like a shadowy, like elongated kind of misty looking thing. I don't know what it was, but there was definitely something there because this was going on for literally 40 minutes. So the next thing, obviously my friend is still recording the security screen, and the security guards actually went into the room to check out what was happening. So they went into the room and they swear that they didn't see anything. You can hear them kind of communicating back and forth between the call desk and the actual security guards in the patient's room. And they were literally telling the security guards, hey, it's behind you, hey, it's above you, hey, it's in front of you. And then at some point you literally could see it go through one of the people, but they could not see anything. That was the craziest part. And the patient inside the room was completely dead asleep. Like, this person did not wake up at all. So the next thing, the security guard, you see him kind of going up to the camera with like a cloth or something and like wiping down the camera. Not even 2 minutes later, you could see the misty apparition thing, whatever it was, reappear. And it was crazy. I could not believe what it was that I was seeing. Unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't get that footage just because of, privacy reasons and whatever. Can't do it. Wish I could, but like I said, I can't believe, again, what it is that I saw in this footage. It was unbelievable. Now, another story about the same hospital. So this hospital, I believe, is about like 9 floors, obviously the main floor, and then it has the basement. So one of the employees at the hospital was working in the basement where the morgue was, and just kind of sitting at, the call desk, whatever, when all of a sudden a man came up to the glass and started knocking on the glass. He was already like in scrubs, had his hospital bracelet, whatever, had a bandage like around his head. And so she opens the door and comes out and asks if she could help him. And he says, yes, can you show me where the emergency is? And she goes, yeah, you're actually on the wrong floor. This is the basement of the hospital. You're actually not supposed to be here. You have to go up 1 level, but I'll show you where it is. So she took him into the elevator. They went up to the main floor where the emergency room was, on the same floor. They come into the elevator, and she basically points down the hall and says, it's down this hallway, just go all the way to the end, turn right, and you'll see it. And that was pretty much that. He said thanks and just kind of walked off. So she goes back to her desk down in the basement, calls up security and says, hey, there was a man lost in the basement of the hospital and he didn't really seem to know where he was going. He needed to go to the emergency room. Can you go and find him and help him out to get to the right destination? And so they go looking for this man, and they call her back and say, hey, we couldn't find whoever it was that you spoke to. Can you describe who it was you were talking to? And so she describes the person. Next thing they say, yeah, sorry, we can't figure out where this guy is. So they asked her what was the patient's name, and she had read the name off the bracelet. She tells them the name. They look it up and find out that this patient had in fact died several hours before she even had a conversation with him. His body was in the morgue, which is where she was, in the basement of the hospital. Now, when they went back to review the footage, they apparently saw her talking to what appeared to just sort of be like a shadowy, like misty looking cloud in front of her. Like there really wasn't anybody that she was speaking to, not one that you could see on the camera, but she absolutely swore that she knew what she saw and that she was talking to a man, and she literally brought this dude up a floor in the elevator and saw him walk off. Like this went on for probably a good few minutes, right? So I don't know, these stories are kind of crazy. Let me know if you guys have any sort of weird kind of ghost stories like this. Maybe it could be in a hospital, maybe at home. Just let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing crazy ghost stories, so please feel free to share. And of course, don't forget to smash the like button on this video, as it really helps. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do all sorts of paranormal things all the time, working on tons of projects as we speak. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way YouTube lets you know, of course, when I post new videos. As for now, that is all from me, and thanks for watching. Bye.